But what's important about having a black entrepreneur conference is that quite often the narrative is around BAME and homogenized cultural taxonomies. And what we don't tell is the story of the black entrepreneur and the challenges that are experienced specifically around black entrepreneurship. So today is about highlighting that and putting the light under that bushel of black entrepreneurship.
A Black Entrepreneurs Conference gives us the opportunity to think about what are the critical principles that are necessary for black entrepreneurs to gain access to markets, but also to grow their business.
I think the importance of having a Black Entrepreneurship Conference is that we have so many exciting businesses out there across the UK that we need to make sure we're getting the same opportunities and the same access to the networks that we see in amongst around us in the big city of London and beyond. And there's some huge opportunities out there, and we need to make sure that networks such as this are there to promote those opportunities and make sure that everyone's got the same chances of being able to develop their business.
As entrepreneurs, we don't have those access codes to privilege in the same way that our white counterparts do. So we have to be more creative, we have to find our community in our collective resilience, and we have to really come together to pool our resources and our expertise.
But we need every person in society to have the doors open to them, and I'm really excited about this conference.
I think the difference this conference can make is if we think strategically, and I think it's great having something in the centre of London, but I think we have to think globally as well. We've got America, we've got Africa, we've got the Caribbean, and I think we're past the stage of individually doing that heavy lifting. I think actually if we can be a lot smarter and a lot cuter by actually reaching out to a lot of those territories.
I think for black entrepreneurs in the UK contribute hugely to the British economy, but what they need is access to mainstream opportunities. And I think this kind of conference provides them huge opportunity to connect with the mainstream, both global firms as well as academics and banks and institutions. And it is important that they get a place in the mainstream. They are brilliant entrepreneurs, but what they need is access, and this platform gives them that access.
And I'm hoping what today will do is bring all those forces together to see realizable, genuine change, so that our entrepreneurs, of all the energy, the passion and the ideas they have, will be realized in real businesses and real growth.
To come here to see that there's a fantastic vibe amongst black people who are really trying to innovate and do something new. The importance of this conference is to highlight the challenges that black entrepreneurs are meeting, to give the evidence of what's going out in the wider community. The biggest problem, the major hurdle for black entrepreneurs is getting access to finance. They still struggle with the perception that the financial world have of black businesses. And the more successful black businesses that these financial institutions could see, the more they may be receptive to giving black business finances.
There's money there, but I think what the report showed is that we turn up to the meetings with that conscious bias. We are in constant positions where we as the founders are doubted about our skill set for these beautiful brands, products, services that we're creating. And I think, feet to the fire is the importance now.
The conference report, what it really is doing is evidencing the issues. You need to have solutions at the same time. So breaking down, what are the systemic failures, what are the barriers to, one, achieving your true potential, and not just surviving, but actually striving.
So therefore, these kind of conferences create a platform. They create a metaverse. And I'm not using the metaverse of even Facebook. I'm creating the metaverse where a scholar by the name of Oshan, Eko Oshan's brother, talked about the mothership. This is it. Everyone comes together and shares these important stories.
A Black Entrepreneurs Conference is absolutely critical because the ways in which we need to gain support is through a collective and collaborative community. It's almost impossible as an entrepreneur to make it on your own. you really do need to rely upon your networks, family and friends, colleagues, associates, new friends and new allies. All of those things are important. At a conference where you have Black UK entrepreneurs, hopefully you can ingest a lot of those sorts of people, new communities, new opportunities, and maybe new alliances that'll take you to places you never thought possible.
I think in the UK landscape today we need spaces where people can actually see ambitious, hardworking, dedicated Black entrepreneurs that are not just talking the talk but actually walking the walk and actually delivering on what they're talking about overall. One of the things that you know also within the report is that 58% of entrepreneurs starting out are women. Yes, it's challenging, yes, it's a real discrepancy, but why we wait for that discrepancy to be evened out? Because it has to at some point. Black women are not waiting.
In terms of the disparities, in terms of the entrepreneurial sense, it's very important that a conference like this, especially headed by someone like Dr. Carlton, he done a fantastic keynote speech today, where he highlighted the facts and the figures and the evidence about entrepreneurship within the UK, and especially with the Black, African and Caribbean society. And so a day like this is about gathering that information, getting inspiration, and having a vision and a passion to be successful.
There are many reports that highlight the differences, and the disparities within the entrepreneurial landscape. To me, what this conference does is it's brought people together. It's intergenerational, it's interdisciplinary, so people can see representations of themselves. And wonderful events like this have to be commonplace. They have to be ordinary. And for me, once you get that thought and then you think, I've got this idea, how can I make it manifest? You've got networks like this to create those spaces where we can have these open and honest conversations. I think today is one of the most uplifting experiences I've ever had in my whole life. But that's because of Ubuntu. I am because we are, therefore I am. And that encapsulates what Carlton has done today.
There were so much highlights. All the speakers were amazing. Winifred, just amazing. That was the first time I actually heard him speak and speak for a while, and that was just amazing. The different people that I met, it was like a family reunion. Yeah, effective networking with people as well. The food was amazing. Everything was just amazing about today. So I'm proper hype and ready to go.